2012's TechFest. We have SonicWall here with Lincoln Olson. How are you doing today, Mr. Lincoln?
I'm doing great.
Good.
Thank you guys so much for having this show. It's been so great to be back out in front of people, having these conversations instead of being so remotely, cordoned off from everybody.
Exactly.
This has been great. Thank you so much for having us over here.
Thank you for coming and just exciting that interpersonal connection that we've been longing for this entire pandemic. So what I invited you over here for, because I really wanted to know more about SonicWall. Can you talk about your company a little bit more?
Oh, absolutely. SonicWall is essentially a cybersecurity organization, okay? So we basically try to keep the bad guys out and the good guys in. So we have solutions from the cloud all the way down to the endpoint, but we've been primarily known for our firewalls. We have a very robust line of firewalls that do all kinds of wonderful protections for things like content filtering for SIPA, intrusion prevention, secure remote access, multi-factor authentication. Anything that has to do with cybersecurity, SonicWall is a great choice for. Even if I don't have a product for it, I will have a really good idea of how you can configure something to keep the bad guys out and the good guys in.
Wow, how long has SonicWall been around?
SonicWall is actually one of the older cybersecurity companies. It's right around 1992 or 3. Sorry if I get it wrong, guys. But basically, it was started out as a company called Sonic Systems by a couple of engineers in, I want to say it's in the Milpitas and San Jose area, where they made Ethernet cards for Apple systems so that they could do more communication, kind of like Apple Talk, way back when. Then they kind of started moving towards the need to control access into and out of a network, and so the firewall was born. And then they changed their name to SonicWall officially right around, I want to say 1993 or 1994. And we've been doing it ever since.
It's great to hear, because I'm thinking about technology and the evolutions from the beginning, and it sounds like SonicWall has been pretty much there as things have developed, as they've grown, and you've been able to adapt and kind of incorporate that into your business. So that's great. Do you have any main products that you sell, or main solutions that you showcase to your customer base?
Yeah, absolutely. We're primarily known for our firewalls. Okay. So basically, the little box that you plug all your internet connections into and all your local connections into, so that we can basically act as the gatekeeper, right? Okay. When you go out to a nightclub or something, there's always somebody. Are you on the list or not on the list? Kind of a thing, right? So that's the primary function of a firewall. Okay. But since the threats have changed and times have changed, we've done more than just an actual you're on the list or you're not on the list. We're actually now able to take a look at what you're trying to do, so that we can actually make decisions of we'll let you in, but to this area, because you don't have the full credentials. Or you are a credentialed person, but you're not at work, you're at a coffee shop. So we kind of can do some device interrogation features to understand where you're coming from, to help protect against the new threats that are out there, which are pretty much real-time threats that are happening. Yeah. The biggest thing now, so we've had the firewalls in place for a long time. That's not changing, but we've enhanced our offerings to do things like cloud application security. So basically, the G Suites, the Office 365 clouds that are out there, they're doing, Microsoft's trying really, really hard to protect us against all the malware that they know about. The problem is Microsoft doesn't know about all the malware that's out there, and neither do we. But we have a proprietary system. It's called real-time deep memory inspection. SonicWall has a patented process for this. We were awarded back in February. It was patent pending for several years, but essentially, because the current threats are not writing files to disk like an old legacy antivirus scanner or antivirus program, the new weaponized Office documents and PDFs are operating in memory. So there is no file to scan. There is nothing to cross-reference. And so what we have to do is forklift this off to our secure cloud and force it to reveal itself. What are you, right? Yeah. So are you, we enable macros, we run the executables, we do all kinds of stuff. Now, we do have a triple engine sandbox before that, hypervisor, emulation, virtualization, before we go into our real-time deep memory inspection. However, the current threats know this, and they're stopping sandbox attempts. So are you in a sandbox? Yes, no, and they'll hide. They won't do anything, right? So they'll go through the different engines until they get to the real-time deep memory inspection. Boom. That's where we're able to really see the stuff. Okay. And we're able to write countermeasures, because like a DAT file, like an antivirus, we can write a SHA or a hash. And that way, if you, like a download, when you download a file, you can do a checksum. This can be verified and sent out to all the other connected firewalls. So if you're the first person to see a threat, I get protected because I have a SonicWall connected. So you've gone and vice versa, right? So if I'm the first person to see a bad file, it goes up into the cloud and we blow it up and do all that fun stuff. And then you get the benefit of the fact that I saw that file first, because your firewall gets updated.
That's pretty wicked.
It's a wonderful system.
It is. For me, I'm listening to everything and I'm like, wow, you have like a cyber department of bouncers and detectives, and it works together hand in hand.
Absolutely.
And that's amazing.
It's fun.
Well, what other things about SonicWall can you share that maybe we don't know?
You might not know this, but SonicWall actually is an endpoint protection company as well. So we've been known for firewalls forever. We have our cloud protection, and now we've teamed up, well, it's been about 3 years or so, maybe a little longer. We've teamed up with SentinelOne, who is the top anti-malware provider, or not provider, but top anti-malware protection on the planet. And so they've got a wonderful way to be able to see something that might be wonky or a little weird, and then that's when we take it and go to our cloud with it. But they're also offering things like one-click rollback. So if something does come through the wire, and all of a sudden your files are getting encrypted, we can tell. We can quarantine you, and then we can take you off the network. I can immediately roll you back, or I can keep you off net, and we can do forensics to find out what happened. So SonicWall, again, all the way from the cloud down to the endpoint, we have something for you.
That's fantastic, and I hear all the benefits for these school districts in the learning environment. Have you personally noticed any of the effects in the school learning environments yourself?
Oh gosh, there's a lot of topics. I'm just going to pick one,
okay, sure.
because I talk a lot. But basically, SIPA, the Children's Internet Protection Act, is about content filtering, right? We want to make sure that all of the kids that are out there using these cloud-based tools, YouTube for Schools, they don't get bad content. And a lot of the parents don't want to see bad images in a Google search or things like that. So content filtering is very, very important. We have it on the firewall as a service. We also have it as an endpoint agent as well. So if you take your laptop off net, you still have a content filtering policy that's bound to the school so that you can't go home and get around it.
Gotcha.
So that's something that we can really, really do to help keep kids safe.
Continuous support, I like that.
Indeed.
Yeah, I love the safety net that you have provided inside and outside of the school for many different cases and many different reasons. So that's great. And I really appreciate you coming here. But can you tell our audiences maybe how we can reach you, if school districts are interested?
Absolutely. You need to contact your sales rep at Micro K-12 first and foremost, because they are our premier partner in the area. You will find a staff that knows everything about what you're trying to get done, and SonicWall is a part of their offering. So definitely start here. But also go to www.sonicwall.com. That's our main website that has all of our products that are on there. And you can go through and take a look at some data sheets, compare some specs. But if you really want to get into it and take a test drive, livedemo.sonicwall.com. It's a wonderful resource where we have most of our firewalls and our endpoint, all kinds of things that you can test drive virtually without any sort of danger or commitments or anything like that. So Micro K-12, www.sonicwall.com, and livedemo.sonicwall.com.
Thank you so much, Lincoln, for stopping by. Okay?
Thank you, man.
I hope you enjoy the rest of your conference.
I will, and I hope you do too. Again, thank you guys so much for coming out. It's so great to see everybody. What a great time. Thank you guys so much.
We'll talk to you later.
Stay safe, everyone.
Bye-bye.